What's up, everybody? This is Sophia from the Slumber Party, and today I'm giving Norma Desmond realness. I'm giving Nicole Scherzinger and Sunset Boulevard because the Tonys were last weekend, and I am a theater kid. So I don't know if you can see my full outfit, but that's what we're doing. And also, this outfit is sponsored by Wayne State Theater Department's costuming budget because I wore this in a show when I was in college, and this was her sexy little pajamas. So shout out Skylar who picked this out for me. Love that. But today we're a little all over the place today. So I have a couple of topics that I really wanted to dive into, and I'm curious to see if anyone else feels the same way that I do, because it was a lot. It was a lot, especially Tony's weekend. It always makes me feel some type of way about my career, about things. So if you're listening to this in the future, hey, the Tonys were this past weekend. And they always make me some kind of like emotional, whether that's good or bad. Just for some context, this year was the 10th anniversary of Hamilton, and they did a reunion performance. And when I tell you, I sobbed. I was fully crying. I have not cried. I felt numb. Like, also, if you listen to the last episode, my dad passed away about 3 months ago. I felt so numb. I felt so awful. You know what fucking did it for me? The reunion of Hamilton, which is the most theater kid shit I have ever heard. It's so bad, but it opened the floodgates. And I realized then that nothing moves me the way that theater does. And that was a devastating thought because I love theater so much, but I hate this industry. And also, really quick, don't say anything. I'm getting it fixed. I know. Okay. Anyway. So, to start this off, I wanted to say I love theater. I went to school for theater. I also became very disillusioned with theater when I went to school for theater. I am an award-winning actress, straight up. This bitch has an award from the Kennedy Center. I perform professionally this is my second year, only doing theater that I get paid for. I've had so many fulfilling and lovely roles, but the thing that has changed me was a lot of things about specifically now the professional theater industry. And a lot of this is all, just to preface, this is all non-union theater that I'm talking about. I have not worked at equity houses. But I'm getting a little disillusioned with the industry, how people are treating their actors. Just speaking from personal experience, last summer I had a contract where it was an absolute nightmare. It was a lovely, dream role, but the process was shit awful. And we almost didn't get paid at the end of it. And then I did another contract that was, the people were lovely. It was lovely. So, I kind of had a bit of whiplash this past summer working in huge theaters to working in, a 50-seat black box, which I'm thankful for any work that comes my way. But I will say, I think I'm raising my standards in 2026. I'm not going to say 2025 because I've not submitted for a goddamn thing this year, which also fills me with a little bit of existential dread. But, my dad died. What can you do? It doesn't feel right to me. It doesn't feel, I'm not ready to throw myself out there. And could I handle doing a contract this summer? Probably fucking not. So just being honest with myself, being honest with, potential employers. If something finds me, great. If not, it is also great. So there are certain things that I've noticed with specifically non-union theaters recently that have just gotten me a little down in the dumps. A lot of things involving my friends and certain directors and not paying their cast and, breaking contracts. And it's like, this fucking sucks. And because we all have this attitude of, oh, we're just happy to get work. We're just happy to do anything. especially in like the Southeast Michigan theater scene, it's fucking crickets. Like there's barely anything. So we're all just, taking whatever we can get, and we're actively being exploited a lot of the time. Part of me wants to encourage artists to think bigger. Don't take the work that is not, if it's not artistically fulfilling, if it's not monetarily fulfilling, or, if it's not something that's going to further your career, don't take it. Like, we are enabling this industry to take advantage of us, to stereotype us sometimes when you work with certain directors who are actively, pigeonholing their plus size performers, if they even cast them at all. So there's a lot of things that have frustrated me in the past year, specifically with theater. However, all that being said, I watched the Tonys this year, fucking sobbed, love it. And I think the raw performances and things that really move me are strong enough to outlive all of the ickiness in this industry, which is a really good thing. And I do think that a lot of people who will, try to say, oh, you can't do that, or like, oh, you're plus size, you can't do that, or like, you're just not right for this. I think it is important that we challenge those people and that we don't let the ickiness of theater chase us away. I know personally, because of my company that I've started, my Princess Company, that was literally, okay, I love this job, I love kids. The reason I started this company was so that I could perform as a princess at size 14, 16, whatever. Because I knew that nobody would fucking hire me, even though I'm damn good at this job. So basically, if I didn't experience that ickiness, specifically when I was in college, when I was doing community theater in high school, my life would be so drastically changed, and not for the better. Branching out on my own, starting my own company has brought miles and miles of joy and purpose to my life. And that wouldn't happen without those naysayers, without the people who told me that I couldn't, without the people who made me think that I couldn't. That shit sucks. But I love this industry so much, I love my job so much, that I pushed forward. I did it the way that I wanted to do it. And I hope that my purpose can also inspire others. So, yeah. Anyway, I love theater. I think it's icky sometimes, but it's really, it moves me. I don't cry at movies. I cry at musicals. I cry when I hear the downbeat of Hamilton. And maybe there's wrapped up in all of these feelings about my dad. I dragged my dad to so many fucking musicals. But when Hamilton was first going on tour, it was like 2016, 2017. That was one of the musicals that I dragged my dad to. It was just him and me. And I absolutely fucking sobbed in that theater because I couldn't believe that I was there and I got to witness this incredible artistry, and I got to share that with my dad. I also brought him to Les Mis. I'm pretty sure he fell asleep, which, what the hell? I love Les Mis. I will die on this hill. It's so good. I don't care that it's 3 hours long. I don't care that people think it's boring. It's beautiful. Anyway. And that TikTok trend where it's like, you can't get ready with me because this is the music I listen to. It's me, but with Jono and Jones Valjean's soliloquy. And it's specifically the 2010 live record, 25th anniversary live recording. That's just me. But it brought up, memories that I shared with my dad that I kind of forced him to share with me. But I choose to believe that he liked it, even if it's just because I liked it, that he pretended that he enjoyed it too. But it brings people together. It makes me feel nostalgic, and it's, you know, there's just nothing like it. It's really, it moves me in a way that nothing has moved me before. And I love it so much that I want to change it. So all of the ickiness, I want to make it better. And that is all I need. So switching gears entirely, well, not entirely. Speaking of TikTok, I rarely, this is like my toxic trait as a business owner, is that I don't use TikTok very often. Unfortunately, I get sucked into Instagram Reels a lot, but my TikTok algorithm doesn't know me very well yet. And all I really post about is theater stuff. So it only really shows me theater stuff. And for better or for worse, that's great, because I do love seeing theater TikToks and I love following people and whatever. But it also fills me with an immense feeling of dread. And I don't know, I'm curious if anyone else in the theater scene, or in, like, you know, if you're in New York or like whatever, when it stops feeling like community and starts feeling like pressure, or when it starts feeling insecurities, or when it starts feeling insular, because I went through my For You page, all, you know, theater influencers, theater people, actors, whatever. That was it. And I was like, you know what? I love this so much. I just got done saying how much I love this. I don't want it to be my entire life or personality. That's just me. But seeing how many people are making these TikToks and are so quickly jumping on these trends and doing all this stuff, I was like, it kind of brought up those feelings of, am I behind? Is this what I need to do? Is this, you know, God, yet another thing that I feel like I need to brand about myself, that I feel like I need to perfect? That is, you know, is this going to land me a job if someone sees me on TikTok? Like, is this going to make me famous? Is this going to hurt my career because people are just going to say, oh, she's a TikTok star, whatever? I don't know. And I thought about it. I thought about it for a while. And you know what I did? I turned off my phone and I threw it across the room because at the end of the day, yes, this is my career. Yes, this is what I love to do. It was exhausting in that moment to have all of those feelings of, is there yet another thing to add to my list of things that I should be doing that I'm not fucking doing? And I'm curious to see if anyone else feels that way, if they feel overwhelmed by the need to constantly be branding yourself and putting yourself out there and basically make social media your job on top of whatever other job you have, or jobs, plural. And maybe that's just me feeling like an old person, because TikTok is not that easy for me. I feel like I don't spend a lot of time on there. I'm just not good at it. It doesn't come like second nature to me to just film everything. I try really hard. I really do. Especially with the Princess Company, we never fucking post reels because I never know what to do. But I think it kind of gave me the ick that I was like, I don't want to be an influencer necessarily. I just want to do what I love. Like, I don't want to constantly feel this pressure of, you know, well, is this my brand? Like, is this, you know, is this funny enough? Is this cool enough? Is this whatever? The thought alone was exhausting to me. So, let me know, I guess, if you feel that way, fellow theater girlies, the girls, gays, and theys in theater. Yeah, it's exhausting and it's a lot. The theater community is so insular. It's like, and that's the thing. Oh my God. It's like, if you don't know what people are talking about, like, all of a sudden you're not cool, or like you're not in, or like you're not enough. And it's like, what happened? What happened here? Why is this like a battle to see who's the coolest, who's the most connected, like who has the most, like, whatever?
Yeah. Bro. Well, not even that. So like being like a band kid.
Yeah.
we were called other things, but this is a. But anyways, I feel like it was almost a little easier for us to accept people or like bring people into the like when I was around theater kids, because I
Yeah.
played in the pit orchestra and all that for
Yeah.
the musicals. It was like
You
y'all were
watched
your
from afar.
yeah, y'all were
The
your
chaos.
own thing.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, it's cool, I guess.
Well, listen, and I say this all the time. There is no such thing as a cool theater kid. A cool theater kid is an oxymoron in itself. It is. Why are we pretending like we can be cool? We suck. Are you kidding? We're annoying as hell, and all your favorite celebrities are annoying as hell. I hate to tell you this. They are all fucking theater kids, but they're just hot theater kids. So you like them. Ryan Gosling, Timothy Chalamet, theater kids. They sing, they dance, they sang at 8 o'clock in the morning. They listen to John Owen Jones, Valjean soliloquy while they get ready. I hate to break the illusion. This is what it is. So it's like, this is so fucking frustrating. Can we all just like bring it down like several notches and realize that none of us are fucking cool? And that's the thing. This has always been a thing in schools, in, friend groups, whatever. Insecurity is what breeds this need to other people, like to make them feel like they're not a part of the group, to make people feel like they're not doing enough, whatever. It's insecurity. We are all so cripplingly insecure in this industry because, again, we take jobs that pay us $200 for a full run. We take, we go through rehearsal processes that suck. We do non-union tours. Me, did one, sucks. It's like things that we shouldn't put up with. We do because we're all searching for this validation and this need to work and this need to make connections. Like, what? We're making it harder for ourselves. And I hate this feeling of like, literally, if you take nothing away from this episode, there is no such thing as a cool theater kid. There isn't. So we all need to like bring ourselves down. We all just need to be humble just a little bit. Please, please, please. I can't do this anymore. If I have to listen to one more fucking tenor make me feel like I'm less than, I'm gonna lose it. And I'm gonna quit this job altogether and I'm just gonna go live in a cave or something. Like, this is crazy. Why do we get this, like, where do we get this feeling of superiority from? I don't know. Actually, I do know. It's insecurity. So, whatever. And that also ties into, I consulted my notes. That's the second thing I wanted to talk about was feeling behind. And I kind of touched on this in my first episode too with imposter syndrome. This culture of like, being booked and busy and doing all these things, like, it's a breeding ground for comparison, even when sometimes we are comparing apples and oranges to other people's careers. Clearly, no one is exactly the same. Doesn't matter, what you look like, who you are, how you sing. You are still different from that person who's, a brunette, soprano, size 16, whatever. Doesn't matter. And I think we need to lean into that more. Like, we are so much more than our resume, than that shitty audition you gave 2 months ago. Like, we are so much more than cattle calls and numbers and whatever. And I think at the same time, it's exhausting to feel like you constantly need to stand out from people, or you constantly need something that makes you better than the person behind you. I don't have the answer, unfortunately. All I can do is just shout this into the void and hope that someone agrees with me, because it's fucking exhausting. And part of me feels like I want to not necessarily be an influencer, but I want to spread the message somehow that, like, it's okay to feel behind. It's okay to feel whatever you need to feel about this audition season, about, if you didn't book this year, like, it is what it is. You know, I see a bunch of people's like auditions wrapped and it's like, oh, I did 273 auditions and I got one offer. Like, that's it sucks. That's the way it is. But I think it does take a lot of thick skin, because being rejected in person to your face most of the time 273 times is crazy. And you have to have that innate love of theater and of this craft that I talked about earlier, because if you didn't, who the fuck would keep going? If I didn't cry at the 10th anniversary reunion of the Hamilton performance, I would have left a long time ago. You know, I would have let this industry beat me down and scare me away. But no, like, I love it so much that I want to change it. And that's the most important thing. But I think there's some work to be done. There is a lot of icky things still. I don't know what to do about it. I don't have all the answers. I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl with a microphone. Regrettably. Who allowed me to do this? I did. And Walter was behind the camera. He's my what's it called? Fucking accomplice.
Producer. An accomplice.
An accomplice.
Same thing. Same
to this
thing.
crime. But it does it fills me with a little bit of hope that maybe someone will see this and feel like, me too. Me fucking too. Because this is exhausting. So I hope that I'm not alone. I hope that I'm not the only person who feels a little bit stuck, a little bit like disillusioned right now. But I think we have the unique ability to bring something to the table that literally no one else can, whether that be our talent, whether that be personality, whether that be just being kind in the holding room, or, you know, not letting this crippling insecurity beat others down. And I'm going to say something controversial yet brave. I think the worst people I know are the ones who are booked the most, which is really sad. And I'm not talking like, oh, they booked like, you know, a season of summer stock. I'm talking Broadway. I'm talking national tours. I'm talking they fucking suck, but they're like, you know, climbing the ladder. And that's another thing that really, really beats me down a lot of the time, is like, is there room for nice people in this industry? I fucking hope so. And I hope that we can collectively bring ourselves down a notch, realize that we are not cool inherently, and then just treat other people nicely. Because nothing grinds my gears more than seeing people give you the side eye in the holding room when it's like, okay, we all showed up here at 8 o'clock in the morning. We're all losers. There's no, like, who the fuck else would do this? We are all here sitting to go work in Indiana. Shut the fuck up. Like, this is not, you know, there is no need to be shitty to other people unless you're cripplingly insecure. So next time somebody is like mean to you or like gives you a weird look in an audition call, just know it's because they're insecure. And they need to feel like they're better than you so that they can have a shred of confidence to go into that audition room and probably not get a call back. So it is what it is. That is my thoughts. Don't know what to do about it other than just shout it into the void, but I will. Those are my thoughts. My Tony's weekend recap thoughts. Something that I have been leaning into when I feel awful, when I feel that dread of I'm not doing enough, I'm not good enough, whatever, is hobbies. Hobbies that have nothing to do with your job, with your career. I would even say with theater in general. Singing is not a hobby. First of all, singing is not a hobby. Taking acting classes is not a hobby. Reading plays is not a hobby. That's your job. I hate to say it. I was like that for a while. I was like, oh, what do you like to do for fun? Oh, I like to sing. No, bitch. I sing for my job. That is my job. Can you imagine being like, oh, what do you do? What are your hobbies? Oh, yeah, I work at a chemical plant. Like, that would be like if someone asked my brother, who has a master's degree in chemical engineering, what do you do for fun? And he was like, I go to work. Like, no. That's your job. So I highly, highly recommend investing in a hobby that feels so unnecessary and borderline stupid, because it will bring you joy. And mine, personally, is my Switch, which is sitting over there, my Nintendo Switch. And I like to play JRPGs. I always have. I am a Fire Emblem hoe. This entire room is filled with Ace Attorney posters. This is who I am. And it's something that makes me me. It's something that brings, that is unique to me and helps me detach from this feeling of dread that I'm, just another number and I'm never going to make it and I'm whatever. No, because I like to play stupid little video games and it brings me joy and it helps me to relax and it helps me to detach from all of these icky things sometimes that kind of take over. Find a hobby, no matter how stupid it may seem. I like also making friendship bracelets. Like I'm 10 years old. I love that shit because then you get something at the end of it. And you made something, and that's great. So, highly recommend investing in a hobby. Preferably something you liked when you were a child, or like 13, which is exactly what I did. I went back to my roots. So, and, giving it a second life as an adult, because there's a reason why you love the things you did when you were a child. They brought you comfort, they brought you joy, they, stimulated your brain. Like, it is what it is. And there's no shame in that. So, also, PSA, go back to your childhood hobbies, just try it, see if you like it, and it may change your life, because it definitely changed mine. So, slay. Anyway, I leave you with that. This was a little bit of a shorter episode, but it's been a tough week. Father's Day is coming up. It was my dad's birthday earlier this week. I've been very scatterbrained. I am doing my best, but I felt like these thoughts needed to be said. So, here I am, saying them. Thank you for listening to them. I really appreciate you. I hope you have a lovely day. And I hope that you left this episode feeling a little bit less overwhelmed or upset. I hope you laughed a little bit, maybe. And I hope that all my theater girlies are thriving. I hope you get your post-audition treat. I hope that you are taking care of yourself this season. I hope that you are booked and blessed if you want to be. And that's it for me. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, all the things. Follow me on Instagram. I post a lot of cute shit. Yeah. And thank you again to Walter from WA Hooper Marketing for being my amazing producer and cameraman and sounding board sometimes. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a lovely time. Bye!